Hey, this is Mark Tornillo from Accept. You're listening to Perkūno namai.
Labas vakaras, gerbiami klausytojai. Į jūs vėl kreipiuosi aš, Paulius Zanevičius iš Perkūno namų. Esu forum pelose, kurio sienas netrukus turėtų sudrebinti Vokietijos metalo klasikai Accept. O kol koncertas dar neprasidėjęs, turiu progą pakalbinti grupės vokalistą Marką Tornillo. Hi Mark, how do you do?
I'm well, how are you?
Great. It's nice having you here again. How's your current tour going on lately?
Whoa, we've been on the road now for about 3 months, so it's winding down for the holidays. We got 3 shows left, this being the third one of the 3. So it's other than that, it's been going great. We're just getting a little road weary. That's all.
We feel honored that you visit us every time you have a new CD. Not so many bands do that. What do you think is the reason for this connection between Accept and Eastern European fans? Do you feel like you have more support here than in some other regions of the world?
In certain areas, I would say, yeah. I don't know why that is either, but it seems like even long before I was in the band, I think Accept had a great connection with Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to say, but it certainly is evident that it happens. It is happening. So.
The first time you've been here after releasing Blood of the Nations, you played only few songs from that album, and the second time you performed a lot more new songs. So what kind of set list can we expect tonight?
You can expect quite a few from the new album tonight, and of course a lot of the classics and some from both Stalingrad and Blood of the Nations. But we've been hitting the Blind Rage album pretty hard, so you'll get 5 or 6 of them tonight.
I have a feeling that a good indicator if an experienced band is still going strong is whether they are confident about their new songs enough to play a lot of them live. Do you think it's
that's a good point. I mean, a lot of bands don't. They'll play maybe 1, possibly 2 off a new record. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing for us is to make music that holds up and is current but sounds like it could have been written 20 years ago. We have to play to our constituents, our fans, and I don't think they've changed much over the years, so why should we?
Of course. Your latest album, Blind Rage, did extremely well in charts, not only in Germany but also in other countries as well. Did you expect that level of success?
Not really. I think we were all pretty much caught by surprise on that one. Number 1 in Germany, number 1 in Finland. That we were blown away by that, and the chart positions everywhere else were very good. So,
what was the reason for this?
I really don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, except for the fact that we go out and
it's a good album.
We hit the road hard and been trying to build the band for the last 4 or 5 years to build the band back up, and hopefully this is starting to pay off.
Can you tell us something about making this CD? How different was that from making the previous 2 albums?
Well, we're a bit more comfortable in our own skin now, I'd say. Blood of the Nations, we really had no idea what we were doing because we were searching for an identity at that point, I think. Thank God for Andy Sneap, who pointed us in the right direction. But we took our damn sweet time with that record. We didn't even have a deal when we recorded that record, so we took quite a bit of time and did it our way. Stalingrad, we really didn't have that amount of time. The record company wanted we had a deadline, let's say, and we really put that record together in 3 months, and it had to be done. This one, we had plenty of time again. But I think we did a little more experimenting this time. We're a little more comfortable now, you know, as to who we are and what we can do and what we shouldn't do, you know. Whereas we weren't really confident about that with Blood of the Nations.
This album, at least to my ears, seems to be closer to your 80s sound than the previous two. Was there a conscious decision to make more old school sounding album?
I don't think it was a conscious decision to be more old school, but we wanted it to be more melodic and more, you know, more closer, I guess, to what Accept was doing in the 80s.
Yeah.
Which is really where we're all. That's where we live, you know. I always say this laughingly, but I'm an analog man trapped in a digital world. I'd go back and record on 2-inch tape and listen to vinyl any day, you know. That for me, that was the stuff.
There's a space in the darkness where a fire still burns. It's beyond the reason, there's the point of no return. There's a hunger that's calling, and the fever runs wild. It's where the light throws shadows on the thoughts of every child. Deep within this hollow chamber, where two worlds collide, and you open up the door, don't cross the line.
A lot of songs in Blind Rage seem to have a rather pessimistic note in the lyrics. And in lyrics you deal with war, violence and the possibility of self-destruction by human civilization. What is the main inspiration for such lyrics? Is it some particular events in the world or something like that?
Well, I think the whole world is kind of pessimistic at this point. You know, it's kind of hard to be optimistic anymore, but you have to try. But I mean, the songs themselves, I mean, they really, it comes about as you're writing the song. I don't set out to write, you know, lyrics that are pessimistic or optimistic. Maybe sometimes optimistic, but it really, the songs take on a life of their own, you know, and they pretty much dictate where you're going to go. Once you hear the music, it's pretty obvious. And some things, you know, you have to point finger at current events. You just have to, you know. So it's kind of hard sometimes, you know. It's not as easy as it was. We can't just write songs about chicks and ooh baby anymore.
Well,
I mean,
course,
we're 50-year-old men, you know. It's like you look a little stupid doing that. So you have to expand your horizons and go for what you know.
What do you think is that the biggest threat for humanity and our survival? Is it the political or religious fanaticism, or maybe the simple human greed, or what's causing all the trouble?
It's a little bit of both of those things. You know, there's a lot of, you know, religious fanatics out there that would love to kill everybody, and there's also a lot of greedy people out there. Meanwhile, people are starving and getting sick, and it's just a, you know, a matter of humanitarianism. I think at this point, if everybody gave a damn about other people instead of just themselves, the world would be a lot better place.
Mm-hmm.
No more civilization, only shadows remain. No more death or pollution, population zero. Welcome to the Stone Age, 200 years after mankind. Welcome to the silent scream, the earth has been reclaimed. Welcome to the Stone Age, 200 years after mankind. A paradise for no one, and no one left to blame.
Let us shift from the future of mankind to something more important, which is the future of Accept.
Yeah.
What are the plans after this tour? Shall there be another album?
I guess I imagine there's going to be at some point. Our plans for the immediate future are take a little time off for the holidays, and then we start up in the spring in North America, South America, and then we'll be back in Europe for the festivals next summer. Then that remains to be seen what happens after that. I think we're probably going to tour straight through till next Christmas, the way things are looking. So we'll see what happens after that. If we're going to go in and do a fourth one, I don't doubt that we will. You know, There's no reason not to at this point. You might as well strike while the iron's hot. That's the way I look at it. And we're not getting any younger. We know that. So what are we gonna? We can't wait another 10 years. I don't think.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of stupid.
The last time you've been here, I interviewed Wolf Hoffman, so now I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to ask some questions that only you could answer. So before you joined Accept, you sang in the previous band TT Quick. Can you tell us a little bit about how was your life during that period of TT Quick and how it changed when you joined Accept? Is it now easier or maybe it's more difficult?
It's totally different. It's like comparing apples and oranges. I mean, TT Quick hadn't been a working band for quite a long time, you know. So just as Accept wasn't, you know, they were dormant for 14 years just about, and I was dormant for darn near that, you know. Other than playing in some local bands once in a while and just going out for the hell of it, I was pretty much done with all this until they came looking for me, and that was it. You know, but yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different. Plus, it's strange, you know, being the only American and not anymore. It was in the beginning. It's really not strange now because I'm so used to it. But it's a totally different thing.
Have you been influenced by Accept all the time?
Well, I always liked Accept. You know, I mean, back early '80s, I was listening to them. We used to cover some of their stuff in the early '80s. You know, real early '80s, 1980, 1981. You know, with the Breaker album and then Restless and Wild, when that came out, it was like that really hit America hard. So,
and isn't that the way they found you when you made cover songs?
Well, actually, we opened for them once in Lemoore in Brooklyn, this big rock club in Brooklyn, on the. I think this was the Balls tour. We played with Accept. So, but Michael Wagner had worked with us and them, so we had that in common. And but they really found me by accident. So it was just happened to be in New Jersey working in a studio, and the guy who owned the studio knew me and put us together, and we hit it off, and that was it.
Like accident. Did you have to learn any new vocal techniques, any new ways of singing when you joined Accept, or have you been already in that style?
I hadn't sang that hard in a long time, so it was not really learning new tricks. It was relearning my old tricks, you know, and a new way to do it. And you know, it's brutal singing like that for 2 hours a night is going to take its toll on your throat. So you really have to do a lot of preparation, warming up and cooling down, and try and find the easiest way to do it and make it sound the best without ripping your throat out. Yeah. You know, it sounds like you're gargling with razor blades, but it can't feel like it.
Yeah. Is there a possibility that we will hear something from the TT Quick anywhere in the future?
I kind of doubt that, but who the hell knows? I don't know. I don't see any reason to do it. Mm.
Accept has been an important part of heavy metal culture for a long time. And have you been following the events in the heavy metal scene lately? What do you think about the new bands and the new wave of heavy metal bands that emerged in the latest decade?
I'll be perfectly honest with you, I really don't follow it that much. Few bands here and there, mostly bands that we wind up playing with, you know, on festivals and that kind of stuff. But I really, you know, I liked it a whole lot better when there was no categories. You know, there was rock, and then there was metal, and that's it. And then all of a sudden there was this metal and that metal, and everybody's got a niche. It's like, you know, I lost interest. I stopped paying attention when all that stuff happened. You know, I'd rather just listen to what I listen to. I really at this point I find myself listening to older, you know, stuff that I grew up listening to instead of new stuff. Some new things, yeah, but not too many.
So, okay, what else would you like to say to the heavy metal fans in Lithuania?
Oh, it's so nice to be here. Every time we play here, you guys are just a killer audience. I have no doubt that it's going to be that way again tonight, so we're just looking forward to ripping your faces off tonight.
Great. So, thanks very much. It was a nice interview, and
my pleasure.
We are waiting to see you live.
All right, we're going to give you the axe tonight for sure, so we'll see you all soon.
Great.
Take care.
House of Thunder!